Yo, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite new creations, Jack Daniel's Honey Hot Wings. These wings are fire, I'm telling you. Everyone's definitely going to be saying you put your foot in these, as the old saying goes. But first, make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more weekly videos just like this. Alright, let's get started. I grabbed these wings from my local grocer. These are already split up into flats and drums, but if you get the whole wing, you'll want to make sure that you divide them up. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and get a brine going for these wings because we want to impart the flavor all throughout the wings. I like to let mine sit overnight, but you don't have to if you don't have time, but I do suggest getting the brine going and just letting your wings soak up all of that flavor. This process is super easy. All you need to do is cover your chicken in water and then add some salt and then cover and let it soak. Now, if you want to get fancy and add other things to your brine to flavor the chicken, you can. That would turn more into a marinade at that point, but it's definitely an option. Alright, so now that our wings are done brining, we're going to get them ready to cook. Now, I'm going to be making these wings today in the air fryer because it's super easy, and I get asked a ton, how do you get crispy wings in the air fryer? Alright, so I'm going to show you. So, what I'm going to do first is go ahead and make sure my wings are dry. This is super important. You don't want to get wet wings into the air fryer or you'll never get crispy skin. So I'm just going to add them to a paper towel here and dry the top and the bottom. This may take a couple of tries here to get them nice and dry, but you want them as dry as possible here. Alright, now here's the secret. Flour. So we're going to add our flour into a bowl and then we're going to season it because we always want seasoned flour. You don't have to go too crazy here, but we do want to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm going to add some Tony's here because it makes everything better. Alright, now we're going to give our seasoned flour a good mix, and then what we're going to do is start adding in our chicken just to get a nice coating of that flour. You don't need egg or buttermilk or any of that stuff in this recipe. Now, in no way did I say this was a healthy recipe, but this is going to get your chicken wings nice and crispy. The juices from the skin are going to combine with that flour, and it's going to cause a nice crispy skin. So that's why you don't need all of the traditional things that you think you need to get crispy skin here for this air fryer recipe. Alright, so go ahead and finish coating your chicken in that seasoned flour, and then what we're going to do is get ready to add them to the air fryer. This is how they should look. I let mine hang out on a wire rack for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that flour is coated. And then we're ready. Now, you definitely don't have to use an air fryer for this recipe. You can fry your wings however you typically do, but I like using the air fryer because it's easy cleanup. So first thing I'm going to do is just grease my air fryer at the bottom, and then I'm going to start adding in my wings. Now the key here is do not overcrowd. You don't want your wings stacked up. I'm going to kind of push the limits here, but just make sure your wings have some space and don't overcrowd. Alright, now go ahead and turn on your air fryer to 400 to 450 degrees if your air fryer goes that high, and then we're going to cook them for about 25 to 30 minutes, but the key is to flip them after about 15 minutes or so. Here you'll see I took them out and you'll see they're starting to brown here, but there's still a little bit of the white flour on them. So what I did is I sprayed them with a little cooking oil and then flipped them and then gave them another spray on the other side and then added them back in for the remaining 15 minutes, and this is what we have. Yes sir, so you see it, crispy golden brown chicken wings right out of the air fryer. Can't beat it, folks. Alright, so now that we got our wings done, let's go ahead and get started on the star of the show here, our Jack Daniel's Honey Hot Wing Sauce. As always, the full list of ingredients will be in the description box below, but it's pretty much going to be a cup of everything here. So first I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, and then next I'm going to go in with a 1/4 cup of hot sauce. You can use whatever your favorite hot sauce is here. As you can see, I'm going with Cholula, but everybody's taste is different, so you can go ahead and add in whatever hot sauce is your favorite. Then we're just going to go in with a 1/4 cup of honey as well. Now, since we're going to be adding in alcohol, you don't want your heat too high here. Go ahead and give that a good mix, and you just want your heat on medium low and just bring that sauce to a simmer. Now, the next step is going to depend on if you actually want to taste a hint of the whiskey or not. What I do is I add 1/4 of a cup of whiskey total, but I'm going to do half now and half at the very end so that I can actually taste the whiskey. If you don't like the taste of it, make sure you go ahead and add in the whole thing now, and that alcohol will kind of cook off and you won't be able to really taste it at all. Now, I'm just going to let this sauce cook for about 5 to 10 minutes, just on a low simmer. And then what I'm going to do is at the very end, when it's reached the thickness that I desire, I'm going to add in that remaining whiskey. This is just going to give it a little bite. Now, if you can time it right, what you can do is have the second part of your wings finishing in the air fryer while you're making your sauce. Then as soon as those wings are done, you can go ahead and hit them with the sauce while they're hot. Give them a quick toss, and then you're done. Now, you don't have to add the whiskey to the sauce at all if you don't want to, for those that don't partake in alcohol, but it's still really good without it, and then it would be also kid friendly because my version definitely isn't. Don't give that to little Charlie. Alright, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'll be dropping weekly recipe videos just like this. Make sure you share these videos. I think this is a really fun one to do with friends, just to taste test. And as you make it, make sure you do tag me on social media. I always like seeing people make these recipes. It's always fun, and I like hearing your thoughts as well. Thank you for the support.